I think I came to realize that that I need to find home outside of home.
Oh.
Yeah, and Lost and Local has helped me find.
The first thing that she says when she puts her bags down in my place is, "It's so lonely here. Let's come back to Korea."
Brag about my parents.
Oh.
Can we have like special effects?
Welcome to the Lost and Local podcast. We're Adam.
And Hannah.
And Christine.
4 Korean citizens who grew up abroad and are now figuring out life in Korea.
Join us as we share stories and our honest perspective on what it means to be lost and local. Okay, let me introduce our 2 guests today, Christine and Uyn, who are our first married TCK couple. We met both of them through church and heard bits and pieces of their life journey, but not in full detail. So we're so excited to find out more about their childhood, how they met, their careers, and what it's like to be a TCK family in Korea. So welcome Uyn and Christine to the pod.
Yay! Welcome. So excited to have our first married couple on the podcast. Hannah, what's our icebreaker?
Today's icebreaker question is, when was the last time you laughed out loud?
LOL.
You want to go first? I can go first. So we're actually very late today, and we also had to find a sitter because our daughter is still only 3. And in the car we were like rushing, and my sitter was like, "Hey, actually I'm gonna be late too." And I told Un this, and he's like, straight face, deduct her pay. But the sitter is not like a professional person that we hired; it's our friend. Oh, okay. So I just like burst out laughing.
I say the darndest things, don't I? Yeah, so lately Irene has been a bundle of joy to us, and she's got this habit of hitting my bottom.
Trying to find a
And then-
podcast appropriate way, but just slapping his butt and running away.
Yeah, slapping my butt and running away.
Oh,
And she does this like repeatedly.
Oh.
She's giggling
And
the
she's
whole
at
time.
it
She
the
thinks
whole
it's so funny.
Do you like respond, or you just...
Yeah, just like, hey, like don't do that. And I would like kind of chase her, and she'd like run away, like all giggly.
Oh, that's so cute.
What about you guys?
Okay. Honestly, I feel like I'm a pretty affable person, but I don't really laugh that much. But ever since we started doing the podcast, we laugh all the time,
Yeah.
which is like really fun.
Yes, we've seen that. Like now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I know it's a generic response, but that's, yeah, I laugh a lot on the podcast, but in real life, I guess I'm more mellow, but yeah, the podcast brings me out.
Yeah.
How about you,
That's
Hannah?
great. So for me, definitely the pod. Like, some of Adam's stories are so funny. Like, wow, yeah. But yesterday I actually met up with my college friends. Like, so I haven't seen them in like 8-9 years. But they were just like, we were reminiscing, and it just brought me back to my college days. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And so I think I laughed out loud a lot yesterday.
Oh, that's great. Laughing is such a good thing for the soul.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a nice icebreaker. But yeah, so we're really excited to dive a little bit deeper into both of your lives. The first question we usually ask is, where did you grow up?
Yeah, where did you grow up?
I think my story is more boring, so I'll go first. Yeah, so I was born in Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
My parents moved there in 1985 because my dad was pursuing his PhD. So nobody, actually, I think my mom's family, some of them had lived in New York previously, but at that point, at 85, nobody was there anymore. So it was just them. They had gotten married a year prior and then moved that year. And then soon after, they had my sister and then me and my younger brother much later. So all 3 of us were born in Pittsburgh, and we grew up there until I was 9. And then it took my dad 10 years to do his studies, so
Wow.
yeah, that's why the whole reason we were there was his studies, and he was a student the whole time we were there. And then we were just in public schools and growing up. in kind of suburb, but not really. I looked it up yesterday because I was like, I'm not sure if it was a suburb or if it was like city. So it's kind of on the boundaries of Pittsburgh City because we were trying to be close to the school, I guess. And I remember the name Squirrel Hill. That's the place that we lived last. And apparently, even now, it's still a pretty Jewish neighborhood. So the makeup of the school was a lot of Jewish kids, a few Chinese kids, and maybe one or two other Korean families other than, So growing up, it was me and my sister first because my younger brother is much younger. Yeah, so not that many Asians, so yeah.
Okay, so can I ask you a couple of follow-up questions on that? So you said your father came to study for his doctorate. Did your family or mom and dad, did they live in Korea prior and they came to America for that purpose?
Right. They had only lived in Korea and they got married in Seoul and then he decided he wanted to go study abroad. So.
And then your sister is the oldest one. So were you two born in the States or were you born in Korea?
We were both born in Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, all three of us were born in Pittsburgh, yeah. So my mom always talks about this one Korean doctor that was at the hospital, Shadyside Hospital. I don't know his name, but she's always like, yeah, he was the best. And all the Korean families in that area had their babies through him.
Okay, that's cool because Hannah was raised in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we actually have a very similar story until I was 8. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then you after your father got his doctorate, did you all stay in the area?
So the plan was that he would find a job in the States when he was done. So the first thing that didn't go as planned was that it took that long. And then the second thing was that he actually found a job in Korea. So he had applied to 2 places, one in the States and one in Korea. And he visited Korea thinking, I'm probably not going to come here, but let's just do this interview. And then when he went, he actually really loved the school. So he decided to take the job. And then we ended up all moving back to Korea. That was when I was 9, yeah.
Wow.
I did not know this. This is, okay, wow.
So, because I think he always wanted to finish his studies and get a professorship. My mom would be like, okay, so this year we're probably moving. And I remember like being sad and telling my friends, we're probably moving away, it might be Korea. And then another year would pass and we haven't moved yet because he hasn't finished yet. So that went on for like 2 or 3 years and then finally the decision was made. And then I think I was still kind of like, but we might not move because this has happened a few times already. So I didn't know what to expect. But we did end up moving and that was in 97. And we moved to a small city in the south called Pohang. Because the school that he accepted was Handong. It's a Christian university.
Yeah. I've been there.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, because it's a small Christian school, I think that's what kind of attracted him the most. And that was great for him. But for us, moving from the States, like it was, I think, more of a culture gap because it was still not many expats in that city. Handong was still kind of its own little bubble because there's a lot of foreign professors and more people that had lived abroad.
Yeah.
Pohang, the city itself, back in 1997, I feel like there was almost no foreigners outside of Handong. So, yeah.
Wow.
So it wasn't a complete shock that you ended up moving back to Korea, but you did kind of opposite from what a lot of people do.
Right.
They were raised in Korea, they immigrated to a westernized country, but you did the exact opposite.
That's how I usually have to explain it to people.
Wow. And you had a few years because your father said that he was making a decision on whether he would finish this year or not.
Right.
So what was the emotion surrounding that whole move? Or was it something that because you guys had time to process it, were you reticent about it, or obviously you didn't have a choice?
No, we did not. So our impression of Korea at that point, I think we visited once when I was like 2 or 3, so I had no memory of that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But when I was like 8 or 9, my dad would go on trips. I think also for that interview, he went by himself, and he would bring back like Korean like comic books, you know, with the big eyes and pretty hairpins. And so that was my impression of Korea, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, Korea is a good place. So I didn't have any like fear, I guess, or any. I hadn't thought probably that deep into it, but I had good impressions of Korea. And at home, we had like spoken Korean with our parents, even though at that point, I feel like I talked back in English more. I did understand the Korean, so yeah, I don't think I was afraid. but I probably didn't know really what to expect. Yeah.
And when you moved back to Korea, did you just go to a local school?
We did, because the international school was too expensive, so they were like, we're just sending you to a local school that's walkable from our house that we got here. So they just put us in a local school. So me and my sister I was 4th grade, my sister was 5th grade. And I remember kids from the other classrooms, if there's like 4 classrooms of the same grade, they would come see us during break time and they'd be like, that girl's from America.
Oh.
Because it was like not a thing that happened back then.
I see.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, that sounds stressful.
So one of the things that we did do a racism podcast. So one of the things I like to follow up is when you were raised in Pennsylvania, how was your experience? How was it for your family? Did you receive any overt racism? Was it anything that was maybe like traumatizing or anything like that? Or how was it for you guys?
Yeah, so when I got the questions, I was thinking about it. And even though it was, I guess, more a white neighborhood, there were some Black kids and some Asians. And I think I grew up not really being so aware of race. So some of my best friends growing up were like either like mixed or Jewish, and then there's always like the annoying boys, but I remember there was Brandon. It's probably not gonna he would be so annoying during recess. And I feel like he probably did like the Chinese eyes and stuff to me too.
Yeah,
like there were a few people that would do that, but it was more like boys are just immature and annoying. I didn't take it as racism at that point. So it was just something that boys do that was annoying. It wasn't, it didn't feel like an attack on my race.
Okay. So it wasn't something that you were able to, you didn't go home crying every day or thinking about okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious about Korea, because you said like the kids would come see you during recess. Did you feel othered? I guess it's not race, right? Like, did you feel othered in Korea?
Yeah, I think definitely when I came to Korea, I realized, oh, I'm different. I didn't feel that way when I was in Colfax, that was my elementary school.
Okay.
But coming to Korea made me feel like, oh, I stand out. I'm somehow different. They see me differently. And also, of course, the things that I experienced in the Korean public school also made me feel like, oh, it's very different here. So I think that's the first time I realized, oh, my experience is a little bit different, and I'm in a different culture that I'm used to.
Okay. Well, so you grew up in Korea at 9 years old, all the way up through high school, then?
No, because we were just put in public school, and we had grown up in the American system where it's more about, you pursue what you're good at, but the Korean system is you have to be good at everything, and that started to really become a burden to my sister more than me. I think it was also that age. That age is very tricky, 5th grade. So she had a tougher time, and she really wanted to go back to the States, so my parents helped us to go back for high school. We did a homestay with a family in Boston. So I was only in Korea.
Wow, we have so much overlap. And we're going to marry a TCK husband.
Yes, I'll pray that over you.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so it was 2002 World Cup, and then I pulled out of the Korean school and I moved to Boston to be with my sister. My parents didn't join us at that point. It was just the two of us. So we finished school in the States, 1 year in Boston, and then I finished it in San Diego. And then I ended up moving back to Korea for college, but that was also not intended. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
I guess we can
should
talk about that later.
we should save that for later.
Okay. Wow. So that's why you're able to retain your English well.
Right. That high school that I went back, and also when we were in Korea, my sister and I, we were like each other's only TCK friends, so to speak. Yeah, so we would talk to each other in English even though we got looks on the bus or whatever, because we felt comfortable when we spoke English. And still now, we'll say our emotional language is English, because after we've gotten married, we've discovered when we get angry and we want to have a disagreement or argue, English is our like more natural language that comes out.
I see.
Wow, that's a fascinating childhood.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And let's segue into Uyn's whole answer on where did you grow up?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in the Philippines, and I was there from kindergarten to 12th grade.
Well, no, you were there from when you were 1.
But you went to school from kindergarten.
Oh yeah. Sorry. She knows my life better than I do. Yeah. So I was 18 months when I went to the Philippines.
Wow.
Where were you born?
I was born in Korea, actually, in Kuro, Kaebongdong. And
Okay.
that was where my dad was ministering at that time at a church in Kaebong. Yeah. And he was sent to the Philippines in 1988. And I was there from like 2 to 12th grade. So I came to college. I came to college in Korea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were raised learning English and Tagalog and Korean?
Yeah, so I went to Filipino Montessori.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. I still remember it was called Haris. Yeah. And then I went to kindergarten at an international Christian school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you grew up in the Philippines. Was this like in Manila or was this like in like Timbuktu of the Philippines?
Oh no, yeah. So it was Metro Manila, and we lived like on the outskirts of Manila, like 2 hours away. And yeah, to answer your question, I spoke Korean at home and spoke English at in school, but I still remember like Filipino national anthem.
Oh.
So it's like Bayang Magi.
Oh.
So we would sing like the Philippine anthem at theaters. We would stand up and we would put our hands on our heart and like sing the anthem.
Wow.
Like
I still
before a
remember.
movie,
Yeah,
right?
before movies. I still remember doing that.
Before movies.
Yeah.
Is that something that they still do?
I think they used
No.
to do that in Korea too,
Oh
actually.
really? Yeah. They stopped doing
To-
that, but yeah.
Not like a theater play, like an actual
Like
movie.
movie, yeah.
Well, that's so cute though.
Yeah. I still remember doing that.
Oh.
And were there a lot of expats during that time, or was your family one of the first?
Yeah, one of the first missionaries to go. Yeah, back then.
And you have a sibling too, correct?
Two
Oh, okay.
siblings. I have 2 brothers. The second brother is getting married in July.
Two.
Yeah, soon. So, and then a younger brother who's studying in Korea. And so,
So their gap is a lot bigger than
Yeah.
me and my sister. It's 9 and 14
14,
years?
yeah, 9 and 14.
Wait.
9 years younger, and then 14 years younger.
Yeah. Then
So when I was in 4th grade, I wanted a sibling. So I fasted for like a week.
Really?
Yeah. And my parents were like, "Oh, look at him. We must
No
have
way.
him." Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then
Wait,
when
you were the oldest of the 3? Or were
Yeah,
you-
I was the oldest. I'm the oldest.
So, wait. So the second brother was how much of a gap? It's-
9 years.
And then the third brother's 14 years?
Yeah, me and my youngest is 14.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's a huge
Wow.
gap.
So your parents were really moved by your fasting. Wow.
Wow.
Was it just something that they weren't planning on having a second child? They were
Yeah.
pretty happy with
Yeah,
you
just
and
me, an only child.
oh wow.
So as an only child, I'm shocked that you wanted siblings because I love being an only child.
Really?
I have friends like that too.
Yeah.
They just enjoy that life.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
I don't know. I wanted to like interact at home or like because you look at big families or like at school like most students. I look at friends and they have like big families and they'd had like summer trips. They would like go.
Oh, but you have
places.
to tell us how big these families were.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I was pretty shocked when he told me.
Yeah,
Like
so-
the Philippine families, are they
Well,
larger?
no, American families. So one of my friends, the Wisers, had 13
Oh, they were a missionary
the
family
missionary
in
family.
Philippines.
Yeah,
13
13
kids.
kids. Yeah.
They
All
were, but they
natural
were
birth.
like
Yeah.
from like the U.S.
Yeah, U.S.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It's shocking.
So yeah, you go from being like the only person to seeing your friends have 13. I'm
Yeah.
sure there was a little bit of envy.
Wow.
Oh, that makes sense. Wow.
Wow. And I'm curious, like, so you obviously look different from locals, like, whereas, like, because I grew up in China, people couldn't tell if I was Korean or not, but
Yeah.
for you probably stood out. And then you're speaking so many different languages depending on what environment you are. So I'm kind of curious, like, what did you think you were? Like, what was your identity? Where did you find belonging? Did you ever think, like, this is forever home for you? Or were you kind of anticipating, oh, this might not be my forever home?
Oh yeah, so I would come to Korea during summer break every year. So that's like 2 months.
Yeah.
And every time I came, I met family, and I would go back to when I was in the Philippines. You know, obviously I wasn't like the locals there, but you know, the Christian community is so small. So when I was with my friends, I would think, yeah, I'm gonna go to the States, you know, after I graduate. I'm gonna be with them. But there were some of my friends are like half, so they are like Filipino. Their moms are Filipino and their dads are American. And so they some of them actually stayed in the Philippines and carried their lives on. But I was like, yeah, I wanted to be with my friends, but realistically, that wasn't possible because, you know, like tuition and like living costs are really high. So I mean, I actually tried applying to colleges and
To the States.
yeah, and like I just did it because I wanted to be with my friends, and I think they were a really big part of my life, and like my identity, and I just kind of dreaded coming to Korea because they're like if I want to be Korean, I have to go through 2 years of military service, like that's mandatory. So I wasn't looking forward to that, and you know, I always ask questions to my dad, like, what do they do in the army? Like, you know, like, did they hit you? Like,
Oh no!
how did they? Because I would hear stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, it came to be true, but not anymore.
You went too early.
Yeah, too early.
Yeah. They were a little bit more old school back then.
Yeah, they were
for
old
sure.
school.
Yeah.
Oh.
So because he grew up with like these white American friends, well, some of them were
Yeah.
half Filipino, but
Right.
yeah, I feel like, and his whole teenagehood was with these friends, right? And for me, I was in Korea for a little bit, and I became more Koreanized, and so I have a lot of Korean culture in me too. So I listen to like Korean bands and Korean singers, or I follow some of the Korean culture still now. And
Yeah.
he's still completely on the Western side because that's all he grew up with his whole teenage years. So I feel like he's more American at times, even though on paper he's the Korean and I'm American.
That's like Adam.
Yeah. Well, that surprises me because you made your like yearly trip to Korea for a couple months. So that really surprises me that because you were. It's not like you were just isolated in the
Right.
Philippines the whole time.
Yeah.
So you were speaking Korean when you were with your relatives and spending time in the summer.
But I prefer my times in the Philippines with my friends.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And yeah, I remember the time where one summer, like I took my friends to Korea. We came to Korea for a trip, and I think that was interesting because it's like taking us out of the Philippines and our norm and putting us into like a completely different environment. And I think there were I remember a lot of clashes, like and then we kind of stood out as like like our skin color and that group and yeah, that was.
You mean as opposed to when you were here with your Korean family,
Yeah, as my
coming with
family,
your white friends made you feel like, oh,
Like-
we really stand out
Yeah.
and we're different.
And I think I took pride in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I like. Yeah, look at
Do
me.
you know what 사대주의 is?
No, what's that again?
What is that in English? It's like kind of when it's this word we use in Korea when people are more generous toward the Western culture or prefer Western culture. What does it come to? The translation?
Oh no, I was just reading it in Korean.
Okay. Yeah, and I always say yes, 사대주의.
Yeah, I think so.
So it seems like you had a pretty positive upbringing, and in the missionary life in the MK school. You went to the missionary school that spoke English.
Yeah.
And how many of what was your average class? Was it like
30,
you knew like 30 kids?
40,
Okay.
40, yeah.
Okay. And
Per grade?
per grade, or was that like just the 30 kids that were all different ages?
Oh no, so the total student number, it would be like 700.
Oh,
That's pretty big.
Yeah, but then
Oh, that's-
yeah,
that is large.
but our class would be about like 40.
Wow.
So for an MK school or international school,
Yeah.
it's quite big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the biggest.
Wow.
Looking back at the time that you grew up and you got your brother that you asked for, etc. Were you uber aware of the fact that you were Korean in the Philippines and you had white friends, and how was your identity formed? Like how did you see yourself?
So I think it was all kind of jumbled up inside of me. I wasn't processing it until I came to Korea, and yeah, those things were like deep inside me. They were like unnoticed. So when I came to Korea, that I hit the tip of the iceberg, and there were a couple incidents when I felt like I knew that I was different from the Korean kids. Was summer when I was in 5th grade. My parents thought it would be a good idea to enroll me to a Korean public school during my break. Just to like get more exposure to Korean, the Korean language, and we had a family friend who was a teacher at this elementary school in Yangpyeong, and I was put into a grade below, so I was put into 4th grade, and yeah, I remember thinking like, yeah, it's gonna be a fun time where I can meet new friends, and but it wasn't long before I realized that this school was different, and especially when it comes to discipline, and it was yeah. So the way that the Korean culture takes like negative reinforcement was serious back then. Yeah, and yeah, I think Christine, you would agree with
Yeah, that's
that.
around the same time that I was placed kind of permanently, not like temporarily, in a public school. And I remember my first teacher, my 4th grade homeroom teacher in Korea, she would do like meme in front of the class, and she would stop and she would look at me and she'd say like, if you look at me like that, I can't continue doing this, because she would see the fear in my eyes, because it's like the first time that I've seen a teacher actually hit a student.
Yeah.
And she understood, because I'm from America, that it's not a normal thing for me.
Yeah.
And so she would kind of make it into a joke, because that was the norm there. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like the first time you've seen this, but I'm gonna carry on, but please don't look at me like this.
Oh, like she's like an evil person.
yeah. That's probably the look I was giving her. But yeah,
Oh, wow.
they can't do that anymore. But
Yeah,
back when we
yeah.
were growing up, that
So
was still the norm.
you would think that they would tell the teacher like, hey, take it easy on this kid, you know, because he's
A
from
foreigner,
Korea,
technically.
right, but
Yeah.
we're taking a spelling bee test, and like obviously I'm not good at like spelling Korean letters, Hangul, and so then I would get a low score. Like the whole class would get a lower score than like whatever the standard was, and then we would get like spankings.
Oh my goodness.
But we would like 엎드려 뻗쳐 like in a circle, and the 선생님 would like come around with this huge bat, and it would spank us.
So 엎드려 뻗쳐 is when you're like on the ground with
Kind
your
of
hands
like-
down.
Yeah.
Trying to do like a push-up. but,
Yeah.
And then
just
they
standing.
spank you on the butt?
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I think that was for like a test or exam that we had, but like regularly if we had like a low score on a spelling bee, they would like
Yeah, just on the-
어떻게
on the
어떻게
palms.
맞을래? Like
Yeah, they always
how do you
ask
want to get hit? Like,
Actually, I know those two words.
어떻게 만들래? So you can imagine, like his parents thought,
Yeah.
this will be a good experience.
Oh,
He'll learn
God.
about culture, and it
Oh, God.
backfired. And
Oh,
he's like,
no.
I don't like.
yeah.
So both of you were traumatized by the Korean, like the Korean education system back in the day.
It was very different. It was very
Oh,
different.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
Because in America, you do one good thing, and they're just like, and you get so much encouragement, positive
Sticker.
reinforcement.
Yeah.
Sticker.
And here it's like, if you did well, you did well. But if
Yeah.
you did,
That's normal if you
Yeah,
did well. It's
right.
nothing out of the ordinary. Wow.
Wow. So I'm guessing that in general, your perspective of Korea was not as positive as like America or the Philippines. For both of you, or
school, in terms of
Yeah,
school and
school.
education, definitely not positive, more negative.
Mm.
But the good thing about Korean school is that you're with the same kids the whole time. The teachers come to your classroom,
Yeah,
so you're
yeah.
really
Oh.
getting close to
Oh,
your
I didn't know
friends.
this.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that was new for me, and I really liked that because you really get to know your friends.
Okay.
And so I started to build really good relationships, friendships. And so that's the more positive thing that I took from my years from grade 4 to middle school when I was in Korea. So I really had great friends, and I really enjoyed just hanging out after school and stuff. So I would go to school because I liked my friends, not necessarily because, school was fun or anything.
Oh, that explains why when I talk to my wife and she talks about her mom having school friends, I'm like, well, we have a lot of school friends, but if it was like what you are explaining, then that makes sense that they were in that isolated group more than
The whole
normal,
year, right?
more
Yeah.
than like a westernized school.
Right. So
That's interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
in America, you have to like go to the lunchroom and find your group of people. But in
Yeah.
Korea, you're just with these people, and you just sit and eat lunch there.
You eat lunch in the classroom?
I think most of the schools back then, I'm not sure what it is now, but they would bring the food carts into the classroom,
that's
and you would
so
just eat in your
cool.
seats. So, right?
Yeah, you would bring like toshirak, your
Yeah.
lunch, and you would just put
So
it
your
on
designated
desk.
seats, that's where you bring your lunch tray after
Oh,
you get
you know,
your...
I kind of like that. Because isn't that like one of the traumatizing things in junior high and high
Right,
school
yeah.
where you're carrying your plate and you have no friends and you don't know where you want to sit and it's
yeah.
kind of like those awkward moments.
So that's something that Koreans don't really relate to when they look at that kind of like happening in a movie or something.
Yeah. They're like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Wow.
I'm learning a lot of things here. No, that's cool that both of you kind of are drawing from that similar experience. So when you guys met and you started just talking about your experiences, that you both had that understanding that not everyone has. So it's pretty cool. Can I just ask, Un, in the Philippines, how was I know we talked about your identity, but were you picked on because you were Korean in the Philippines, because you were Korean in the missionary families? You were probably maybe even the minority among the missionary kids. So how was there any racist experiences that you had?
I didn't feel so I didn't feel racism in our school, but I think my dad felt a little bit inferior because to the like American like parents, I mean like faculty board of trustees, and and I think that kind of affected me growing up. So I kind of not necessarily have a fear of like white men.
Yeah, I joke that he's
But-
afraid of white people, but even though he grew up with them.
Because I see them as like an authority figure.
Okay.
Like being like a principal or a teacher.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm like a little bit more like careful, I guess, when I'm around.
I see.
Yeah,
And
people.
historically, like
Yeah.
the U.S. did colonize the Philippines, so
Right.
that sort of hierarchy already existed
Mm-hmm.
in addition to the
Yeah.
school hierarchy.
Yeah, but I didn't really. Yeah, in the local sense, I didn't really. I just got like people would just blurt out, "Hey Joe," or like Chinese or Japanese. Like, no, I'm Korean. And I would get that in the streets.
Okay.
But inside that small community, the international community, like there was, because I'm a Korean missionary, maybe I'm like, we don't live in a bigger house than American missionary because of the funds that they probably get. So I always liked like going over to a friend's house because they would like have like nicer things, like more toys to play with, or like they would have like a swimming pool, like, or just that was fun, like a new experience that I could have.
Okay, interesting. So as we segue into your transitions into university, I'm surprised to find out that both of you would return to Korea for university. Well, it seems like you had to do the army, right? So you kind of were forced to go back to Korea in a way. Although I guess if you went to university in America, you could have postponed it a little bit. So yeah, you both went back to university. Tell us a little bit about what made you go back to Korea and your experience. How was that transition?
Yeah, believe it or not, I wanted to find my roots in Korea, and so I kind of came here on my dad's advice, mainly for college, and I wanted to pursue like arts, like fine arts, and he really helped me like decide like which schools were good, which schools I should like.
Not schools.
I mean, universities.
No, what I mean is his dad has very high standards. So he
Okay.
said, in Korea, there's only one art school. You go to this art school.
Oh yeah, but it's kind of true.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't able to get into that art school.
Oh, so then two.
Top two.
Top two. He only gave him two choices. The top
There
two
was
choices.
another option, which my Hagwon art teacher suggested me going to, but that was in the early stages, like of that school becoming like more prominent in the society. So he was like, yeah, go with the safe route. The school that has more like history, more.
Okay.
So did your Hagwon teacher help you with the application process, or like how did you have support? Because it's a very different system from the American
Yeah,
system.
so
right?
I had to do like 입시, 미술, like so like the dessing, like
That's where you draw like the Greek statues,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Greek statues, like still lifes. It's a long process. Like it's like a 5-hour examination process. But yeah, my teachers tried suggesting me at the school, but I applied like through portfolio because I did AP art and I had a portfolio that I could hand in. Did that and the Korean examination process.
How long were you at this Hagwon to prep?
So I was at 2 different Hagwons. Like I was at this one for like a month, 3 months.
After you graduated high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the semesters are different, so I think you
I kind of
graduated and you had some
gap,
the
some
fall
year,
semester to prep and apply. So, which is very short compared to what most other Korean
Yeah.
students do when they're prepping for art school. So,
Wow. And were you like Tungle?
Yeah, I got
Oh,
into
okay.
Tungle.
So Tungle is like if you've lived abroad for a certain number of years, they give you like
A different way of
yeah
getting into the school.
entering.
Okay.
But I know in the past they had like multiple years, like if you were out for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. But I heard nowadays it's like 10 years or 12 years. Like it has to be the full length. You can't like come in.
because there's so many people that have
Yeah.
worked abroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a benefit for you then. And you got to, obviously the American universities, the U.S. universities didn't work out, but you came to Korea, you got into the second school of
Yeah.
your choice. Okay. Yeah, we'll dive into that experience, but how about Christine? How was your whole move to Korea? Was it something that you wanted to do outside of the university or?
So I told you we went back for high school, right?
Yeah.
And actually going back to the States for high school, I had this expectation that I would fit right in again like I used to in Pittsburgh. But at that point, junior high and high school, the kids are different. They're more cliquey. There's more, of their, okay, this is our group, that's not my group. So I kind of experienced, it wasn't racism, but it just felt like it was harder to fit right back in a way. So I ended up hanging out more with the Korean kids, even though that wasn't like what I would have preferred in a way. It's just
Okay.
I couldn't fight the tide, so to speak. So it just if I left it to what it was, then that was the most natural thing. So, and then college, when I went to California, I just assumed, okay, UC has great schools, so one of the UC schools, and I was working towards that. But then because my parents were living in Korea and they really liked the school that my dad was teaching at, and we had benefits because if we were faculty kids, we would get some tuition support, grant scholarships and stuff. So my parents were like, hey, Gandong is a really good school and you've been away from Korea for a while, so why don't you just experience a semester here and then you can go back to or not go back, kind of postpone entering the American school that you decide for and then start at Handong first and then move into that school, wherever it is that you decide. And I was like, okay, like a semester, sure. So I decided to go back to Handong for 1 semester and I applied and I got in because of the Tingnet thing, because I had been living abroad as well. And when I went to Handong, now as a college student and not as a faculty kid, it felt different. And I'm getting to know all these people that are from different backgrounds. And because Handong aims to be a global university, there's a lot of MKs, there's a lot of people that have grown up abroad, and a lot of the professors are also either studied abroad or are foreigners. So it felt like a very multicultural, it's not typical Korea, like not the school that I had experienced when I was in 4th or 5th grade. So definitely different. And it felt more like, oh, these are like people that are more similar to me, especially when I met MKs. I don't think I had met any MKs, missionary kids, before Handong. So when I first went to Handong, how I met them was not because people are always looking for similar people, but we end up meeting each other in the beginning because we all had to take this Korean test, the Korean proficiency test, because we came in as like the 외국인 전형 or MK 전형. So then in that classroom, I met all the 외국인 students, and we immediately just clicked. So we would share our stories, and I'd be like, oh, that's really cool. You grew up in Papua New Guinea or like the Philippines, and I got to know them. And I felt like even though I didn't grow up in these different, more exotic countries, I was like, oh, I can relate to how they feel being in Handong now, because we didn't feel like we quite fit in, but still we understood the culture and we spoke the language and we could get around. So I found my group there. So after a month or 2, I was like considering, maybe this is like a better environment for me than to go back. And I think I started to get my college results, a few months after I had been at Handong. And so at that point when I got my results, I was really starting to weigh, do I want to go back or do I want to continue here? And because I had applied to schools before I came to Handong, I already had applied to certain departments. I think either 1 or 2 were kind of, what is it when there's undeclared majors, but most of them I had applied to like business or something. And while I was at Handong, I had taken a few business classes and decided this is not what I want to do. But I still had time to decide and choose a department. I had still a few months, and I was at that point considering architecture. And none of the schools that I had applied to in the UCs, I guess I could have transferred and chose a different major after going to a UC school. But I was already really liking Handong, the community, and I was like, oh, I want to try architecture, and I could just do that here, and I get a scholarship through my dad. So a lot of things just, I felt like made sense. So I told my parents, you know, I decided maybe I'll not go back, and I'll just finish my university here. And to my surprise, they weren't really happy to hear that. They wanted me to go back to the States because they thought it was better for my future.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because they sent you back to the States maybe for a reason. And then,
Yeah, because Handong is still a very new, small school. Of course, in terms of curriculum or like faculty, it cannot compare at all to a UC school.
Sure.
So I think that's what they were thinking about. But I was really happy with my community and my the classes there. So I convinced them in the end, and I decided to stay.
Wait, I'm curious. Did your sister go to US?
So she also ended up graduating Handong, but she started differently because she wanted to go to art school, and my parents wanted to allow her that or kind of support her in that direction. So she went to an art school in New York, but it was so insanely expensive. My parents were like, actually, we can't continue to support this. So there's a industrial design department in Handong, and that would be free through your father. So why don't you just come back? So then she kind of not out of her own will came back. But for me, it was my choice, so we were a little different.
Do you guys mingle with the same college groups?
Yeah, we definitely have.
Oh, so you guys were pretty close with each other. So I guess having went from America to Korea, back to America, and then schools, I guess it's just natural that you're forced to, not forced, but you experience so much change that it probably brought you closer together, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so we ended up, because my sister had been at a different school and came, and then I was coming kind of early. We ended up entering it the same year. And so some people were like, oh, are you guys twins? But we almost grew up like twins because we grew up so close together. So we definitely share a lot. Yeah.
Aww.
Wow,
that's
so
cute.
I'm so jealous.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I have 4 sisters.
Yeah.
They don't always get along.
Oh.
Sorry, sisters, if you're watching this. But yeah, it's not easy to have a lot of siblings. I mean, you guys came with 3 kids. I mean, 3. You grew up with 3 children in the family. You're one of 3. I'm one of 6. But yeah, it's interesting. Both of you have the younger sibling. Too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So my younger brother and his youngest are almost the same age.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, no, that's not right. Yebin and Songjin are almost the same age. Sorry.
95.
Yeah, forget that. That's not true.
I have another question for you, because I think most Korean parents would not willingly send their kids into an art major, but like, how were your parents? Were they supportive?
No, it's the time to brag about my parents.
Oh.
Can we have like special effects? So my mom, she was always like, do what you love. She just like, kept on supporting me. So I was able to pursue that. Also, another figure in my life was my art teacher, Mr. David French, and he like recently retired. But yeah, he was there for a really long time, and he told my parents that I think your son has potential. I think he should pursue fine arts, and that kind of gave me a spark to gave me confidence and said, yeah, I could do this. And right now I'm not a painter, but painter / art teacher. So yeah.
Wow.
And your dad?
And my dad, yes, holding up the standard really high, the bar. Yes.
But but he saw the potential and he didn't want to discourage, so he still supported you
Yeah,
going into
yeah.
art school, even though, yeah.
And he would oftentimes say, "Yeah, your works, you know, they're not as good as they used to be, like back in high school."
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Hardest critic.
Yeah.
Hardest critic. But his stuff in high school is
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
If I look at it now too, yeah.
Both of your college education, was it, because you said that you had to pass a Korean proficiency
Oh, yeah,
test,
yeah.
was it in Korean that you studied in?
Oh, so Handong, because global is in their name, I think when I was in school, it was like 40% of the classes should be in English. And even the Korean classes, if I wanted to, I could do all of my written exams in English because the professors would understand and they'd be like, you can turn stuff in English.
Oh.
So even though it was in Korea, I got to do a lot of my studies in English, which was really great for me because, yeah, after middle school, I didn't really kept up. I didn't really like reading books in Korean. I preferred reading in English. So that was a lot easier for me. But for Eun, it was a completely different story. And the professors also were not used to kids that had grown up abroad. They didn't have this idea of TCK at Hongdae as
Sure.
opposed to Handong. Yeah.
One of the things that I'm jealous of her college years is that she was able to connect with so many professors and have like a relationship. Whereas I wasn't able to have, you know, that relationship, and yeah, it was just a really quick, I think, like, oh, graduation, get your diploma and out the door kind of experience, and I don't keep in touch with any of my professors. So recently we went back to Pohang and met one of her architecture professors, and yeah, and we visited them at their home. So I thought that was very special.
Yeah.
So he was also
Yeah.
Korean American. I think he deferred back to Korean citizenship, but he would joke with us in English and stuff if we were like the MKs and the pupils. So we were very comfortable with him. But in Hongdae, like one of the stories that I remember that Eun shared with me was like he has these very bright, vibrant colors in his paintings. He still does, and I think back then it was even more because he had just moved from the Philippines. And it's very obvious to me when I hear this that, you know, he would be influenced by the colors of the Philippines as opposed to what you see in Korea.
Sure.
But the professors there would look at his stuff and they'd be like, "You're not from like South America. What are these colors? Like, we don't like them, basically. So change it."
Yeah. So to give some background to that, so like in Hongdae, like the first year like freshmen would do a lot of still life paintings, and you know, still lifes, nudes, and that's all they did to kind of they studied the foundation of painting, so how to use paints and brushes. And then starting, you do that till the third, when you become a junior, you get to do your own art. So first 2 years are like
It's like a set curriculum.
Yeah, that's their curriculum. And so yeah, the first year, that was my first year. One of the professors was saying like, yeah, are your paintings look like Cuban art, because they're so vibrant and the colors are, yeah.
But he didn't say this
but-
in like a complimentary way. Right? It was more like,
like
it's too much, tone it down.
yeah, because it was different. I didn't have much training in painting. It was like my first time using oil paints. So
But you would think that they would celebrate individuality in art, but it seems like just like Ipshi,
yes,
like
that's exactly.
it's
an
very
extension.
formulaic.
Yeah.
You have to fit this mold. It's just kind of sad.
It's very sad because I
Yeah.
think the first 2 years in art school could have been very defining for him, but he was just taught that he has to fit a mold and not really experiment with what is inside of him and that was unique to him. So, yeah.
Do you feel like is it progressing now that we're well into the 21st century? I mean, do you feel like it's moving forward now?
Yeah, I think, I've heard that they changed the entrance exam, and so it's becoming more creative.
You two are just a couple years apart.
He's a year older.
Oh, okay, a year older.
Technically oppa. Never call him oppa.
I figured you were close to the same age. I wasn't sure. Oh, so both of you went to Korean University. You went to Pohang, so it was kind of a hybrid. But moving back to Korea, Christine for the second time. Uyn, I mean, you went to Korea for a couple months each year, but were there any culture shocks in your transition from college to adulthood, young adulthood? Was there anything that really stood out?
Yeah, so one of my biggest culture shock happened during my freshman year of college, and I was in the painting department. Finished a class, and I was walking down a staircase with a friend, and someone came up in the opposite direction. He was walking up, and my friend greeted him and with a bow and said, like, "안녕하세요." And it looked like he knew who he was, but I didn't recognize the person, so I didn't say anything. I was just silent,
Okay.
and I was watching them. Like, just the guy stopped and he asked me why I wasn't greeting him, and I was completely speechless. And my friend quickly jumped in and he's like, "Oh, he doesn't speak Korean. He's not from here."
He's a 외국인.
Yeah. Because I was just like dead silent. I was like, "Oh, something wrong with me." Like, he probably thought there was something wrong with me, but like yeah, it was.
But in his mind, you were like, I don't know
I don't
you.
know, why do I have to say hello? Like, you know,
Right.
who
But it's
are
like,
you?
I think it's a little better now, right?
Yeah.
But the Korean universities, usually the 선후배 culture is so strict.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know them, you're supposed to say.
And
yeah.
also, I think 예체능,
Oh,
so
yeah,
like
that's true.
arts, media, and like sports, they're like unusually strict.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, because you guys are both you're millennials. At the latter,
Millennials.
you're millennials, but you're not close to Gen X. You're like middle millennials.
86, 87. So what does that make us?
You're because millennials is starting around 81.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're 5 years into millennial.
Mm.
Okay, but still, Korea hadn't progressed that much yet,
No.
even at that time.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm very thankful that we didn't have that in Handong. Like we were all very casual
Oh, that's nice.
and even the 선배s, they all had understanding about 뭐 미국에서 살다 if you were grow up abroad 개념 없지 뭐 like you don't know left or right and it was fine. It was like some people would complain but they would also understand you're just a little different because you didn't grow up with these concepts. Yeah. So we would be able to joke about it even. It would be like 뭐 그래서 모르잖아 뭐 it's like it's not like to put them down. It's just just
We're
talking
different.
about it openly.
Yeah. Wow, so Christine, you actually had like a international experience
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah.
And then Uyn, you went
The
from a
full
very
Korean,
international
yes.
to
Yeah.
like so strict Korean.
Yeah.
Did
And then
you
it gets worse in 군대, but yeah.
Oh no, like
Yeah.
did you ever want to like switch schools? Because I know missionary kids who like went to your
Transferred,
school
yeah.
and then went to Handong.
Mm.
That's usually the course because like that's what other people did.
Oh,
and
you
then
mean
they
transferred to
follow-
Christine's school after
Oh.
experiencing?
No, they went to like Faith Academy
Yeah.
and then they go to Handong.
Yeah, so I know a lot of his friends.
Yeah.
from Faith, yeah.
Yeah, you mean Uyn going to his college university and then switching over to Christine's
Or some other
university.
school.
Or
Or
something.
anywhere
I
else.
know people who lived Eun's life
Oh,
as
okay.
an MK, and
Just
then
couldn't-
they only
couldn't
went to
deal with it.
Handong.
Because
Okay.
it's safer, because you know that you'll be
Got it.
understood.
Yeah, because that's where all the MKs are, all the PKs are.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you stuck it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Was it?
Because that sounds miserable to go from an international
Really
setting
hard.
to like
It was really hard. Yeah.
all that.
But maybe it was like the thought to make your dad proud because he wanted you to go to the top 2 universities, or
Yeah, that might have had something to do with it. I was ambitious.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to study painting, but her school didn't have like a
Yeah, we don't have
fine arts department.
Okay.
So the closest would have been design. So like now, like I sometimes talk about it and like, oh, wouldn't it have been better if we met at Hanong and like
We wouldn't have
We
been
wouldn't have
married
met
if we
anyway.
met in college. It just wouldn't have
So this is a good thing that you didn't go. Well, we definitely will talk about that in our second episode of part 2. But
I'm so curious.
sounds like Uyn would beg to differ. I would have won her heart regardless. Oh. So yeah, so you stuck it out because you really were passionate about staying focused on that part of art. You
But
didn't
it
wanna
did
go
take
to
him
the
a
side.
really long time.
Took
because it
me
was, yeah.
me 10 years, and that's the maximum requirement.
Wait,
To
it took
graduate?
you
To
10
graduate.
years to get your art undergrad degree?
Because he took time off, he went to the army.
Oh
Back to Philippines.
Oh.
Wow. They actually have a time limit on getting your college degree in Korea? Because that's not like that in the States.
I don't know if all schools have that, but
but-
apparently if you don't finish in 10 years, you have to re-enter. You have to do the whole entrance
I
thing
think the
again.
States probably have it too. You can only
Really?
defer a certain amount.
I guess they wanted some form of continuity.
Yeah.
You might not retain everything by
Yeah.
way back. Okay.
So you said you came to Korea to find your roots. Did you find your roots in your 20s?
Wow, big question.
I think I came to realize that that I need to find home outside of home.
Oh.
Yeah, and Lost and Local has helped me find that. Through this show, I was able to resonate with the TCK in me, because I've been living in Korea for a very long time. So this year marks my 20th year in Korea. So we have to celebrate that somehow.
Yeah. He's celebrating by going to the States for the first time in his life.
That's right.
Wait,
No way!
you've never been to the
I've
States?
never been.
Isn't
I've
that
never
so
been.
shocking that he's
Yeah.
never been to the
I was going to ask that question if you ever have made your way to the States at some point, but are you guys going together?
I can't because of work. He's going to attend his brother's wedding in July. So
Texas?
yeah.
Texas.
Oh,
Texas.
you're going to experience true America.
I know.
Part of
You're
America.
gonna if you're gonna experience the
I haven't
States,
ever been to Texas.
you're gonna experience America. America.
Oh my gosh.
Trucks and dogs.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so
Barbecue.
excited. I'm so excited.
Good barbecue.
Barbecue, yes.
Yeah.
You should buy a genuine pair of cowboy boots.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I regret not buying cowboy boots when I was in Austin.
I will allow it if it's cool. Don't bring anything back that's tacky, okay?
Wow, that's I'm happy for you. That's cool. Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
but
exciting.
he's really been excited to kind of discover more about what TCK is through this podcast. So every time we come home and there's a new episode, he's like, "There was a new episode. Did you hear it?" And I haven't had a chance yet. I was like, "Oh, what? There's a new one." He's like, "Yeah, you should hear it." So yeah, I think it's really helping him process that he
that's
grew up
great.
Yeah.
not the same as everybody else, and that's okay. We don't have to fit in
Yeah.
this mold. Yeah.
Oh, so were you not exposed to this terminology, like TCK?
Well, I knew about it. Like one of the places that I heard the word was like there's a ministry that supports MKs and TCKs, and I would go to those meetings.
Is this MK Nest?
Yes.
Oh.
MK
Okay.
Nest, MK Nest, MK Korea.
I see,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah. So, so recently I went to one of their meetings, their monthly meetings, and it was good to see old faces and
But it seems like the MK Nest and the camps are all run in Korean because
Yeah.
that's the
Right.
common language, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So among the students, they will use English and stuff, but the main operating language is still Korean,
Yeah.
which is something that I hadn't thought about until we went to that meeting last time. I was like, oh, so it still feels like you're going to a Korean church.
Yeah.
Yeah, not an international
Yeah.
church. Yeah.
That's why I never got plugged in.
Oh, okay.
Because I would experience that kondeness when I went to these MK places.
Even though you can speak Korean fluently and understand everything,
Yeah.
you still didn't. You couldn't identify
I
completely.
couldn't identify culturally, and I was also like, none of you grew up in Korea, so why are you demanding like honorifics and bowing and like? So another awkward thing is if you go to a Western system, you're actually a semester ahead
Mhm.
of the Korean system.
Mhm.
So you tend to go up a grade.
Right.
But
It gets
everyone
mixed up.
else is like a year above you, and then the year below you is the same age as you, and so it gets like very
Oh,
iffy. And so
okay.
I think I went like twice, and then I was like to my parents, I was like, I can't, like these are not my people. But I'm glad that there is a space for missionaries because it wasn't the case when I was very young, and then now they're starting to realize like these kids are kind of lost. They're stuck between worlds and they're not acclimating or assimilating, and they're just kind of
Okay.
existing.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, like the emotional language thing, right? It just, it's also the reason why we prefer English-speaking churches. And I just feel like there's a sense of comfort in just being surrounded in a language that is your emotional language. Because
Okay.
for me, I still feel like if people approach me in Korean, I think that 9-year-old me that moved here still kind of lives inside me and is still kind of a little bit nervous. Like I have to do everything according to the cultural norms and say the right things, and I'm still a little bit tense some part of me, even though I've been living here such a long time and I work in Korean, like my main mode right now is Korean, but I still have that kind of, I'm not completely at ease.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Well, that's awesome that you're finding some way to be encouraged by connecting through TCK stories and people and their own testimonies of what life it was like for them in the Korean diaspora. Okay.
What do you wish monocultural Koreans would better understand about TCKs?
I have this feeling that when Koreans see TCKs or Kyopos too, like they just think, oh, you know, you get around Korea so easily because, you know, English and these things are like the preferred thing. And in terms of jobs, you have an upper hand and all these things. And it's kind of seen as, oh, you had good parents and you get to have these benefits in Korea.
So you're like privileged.
Privileged, yeah. But I think everything is a trade-off, you know. Our upbringings, like things we had to experience is different from what someone who grew up only here experienced. And there were things that we had, like negative experiences, like that we've talked about on this podcast as well, that we've had to go through and would have rather not have gone through if we had the choice maybe, but it's just, you know, how we grew up, so we didn't have a say. So just to understand that not everything is just, you know, easy peasy and great just because, you know, because English is so big here, right? I feel like that's just all they see, and they see like, oh, you're so privileged because of the English. But, you know, if I really think about it, would I have wanted to grow up so like diverse culture and all this, or would I have wanted to just have a very normal and peaceful kind of upbringing and not all this turmoil every time I moved countries?
Sure.
But I think it's something I would have to think about. I can't easily decide which is better.
Okay. Yeah, great perspective.
Yeah, just understanding that I can't make myself change. I can't, like, you know, I will always have this accent. Like even though, like, you know, I can try talk like a Korean and act like, you know, do the right things. It's just a persona I'm showing. Another, like, somebody else. I wish they could understand that we're not just being difficult or awkward. That we are navigating two worlds at the same time. And yeah, just because I don't speak perfectly and I don't know the social expectations, I don't mean to like be disrespectful. What we need isn't judgment or correction, but curiosity and understanding.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Now let's blast that message out. Get it out to the ether. It's good to come to that realization where you're able to accept who you are, and then both of you have lived in Korea for so long, and it's just something that you are, and you accepted to stay in Korea, at least for now. I don't know what your future, how that future unfolds, but yeah, it's awesome to hear about your childhood years.
Okay, so I kind of want to go back to that comment from before that if you had met in college, it might not have worked out. Why?
The reason I say it probably wouldn't have is because I was very, like, not interested in dating in college. I thought all boys were beneath me. So I think if we had met in college, I would have treated him the same.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'd have been like, yeah, I'm too good for you.
Oh, so wait, what age were both of you when you actually met each other then?
30, 31, and then we got
Oh.
married 31, 32, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
It's much later.
so you had a 1-year engagement.
We were dating
Or-
for a year.
or
and the
dating for a year.
engagement was about 6 months. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to when you guys met. How in the world did you meet? Like, what's the story behind it?
Wait, before that,
Oh.
can I just ask?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because Adam and I went to Korean college. Adam and I went to Christian colleges, and there's this thing called Ring by Spring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is there that?
Oh yeah.
Is that a thing in a Korean Christian college?
No,
No.
it's still too
Interesting.
early for Korean culture.
I
Yeah.
see.
Okay, they want you to just focus
Yeah,
on
yeah.
studies.
Oh.
So it was very. It has happened that people get married straight out of college. Very seldomly during college, but it's not the usual case.
So, were both of you before meeting each other? Was marriage something that was on the horizon for both of you? Was it something that you wanted in your life?
Yeah, I was going to dawn watch prayer meetings.
Oh, 새벽기도.
Oh. Well, you already know that 1 week of fasting
Oh,
will
yeah.
result in
Yes.
a brother.
He
So
believes in the
you're a
Yeah.
firm believer in prayer.
Yeah.
All right.
And was that because it was hard to find someone that you were interested in, or you just
Yeah.
felt like you wanted to prepare in prayer?
I had failed many times. Yeah.
Wow. So you're very intentional. It looks like you definitely wanted to have a partner in life. Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Christine?
So for me, after Handong, I had only wanted to leave Korea and become a professional outside of Korea because I never wanted to work in a Korean setting.
Makes
I already knew how stressful it would be, like
Yeah.
the overtime and just the culture, the hierarchical culture. So I chose to do my master's in Europe. So I was in Norway for 2 years.
What?
Pursuing a
Oh, I
master
didn't
in
know
landscape
this.
architecture. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but around the time I was finishing and I was starting to look for jobs in Europe, my mom came to visit me and she said, I thought, it was going to be a nice trip, mom and daughter trip around Europe. And the first thing that she says when she puts her bags down in my place is, it's so lonely here. You have to come back to Korea. And I was like, oh, but I really like my place. I thought it was all cozied up and nice and welcoming for her. And that's the first thing she says. And the whole time that we're there, she keeps saying, I think it's going to be very lonely for you here, so you should come back to Korea and you should get married in Korea. So she kept pushing this on me, and it was getting to the point where I felt like we couldn't enjoy the trip anymore, and I had to really consider that at that point.
Really?
Yeah. So my friends, they all knew that I wanted to get a job there, but they were really surprised to hear that I was going to give Korea a try. So I did move back, mostly because my mom really wanted me to try to settle down or find someone in Korea. And she wasn't really open to the idea of me marrying a foreigner. So that was her big thing also. She thought if I stayed there, that I would get married to a Norwegian and never come back to Korea. So that's why she was really pushing it on me. So I came to Korea thinking, I'll give it a try. I'll show her that I gave it a try and then go back out.
Oh,
Because I didn't
okay.
really want to work in the Korean culture still.
Sure.
I was still kind of afraid of it. So I ended up being in a company. It was a great company, but it was very typical Korean culture. So I would be working overtime almost every day during the week, at least go once during the weekend. And so I came because my mom was like, you should meet people, but I had no time to meet people. So three years went by and, I had time to go to church, but I think it's very hard to meet someone at church because you're in the same community. And what if it doesn't work out? I think it's very tricky, right?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I didn't feel brave enough to try anything. So 3 years went by, and at that point I was like, I'm so done working here. I need to leave. And I think I can tell I had gone on blind dates and such. So, and I think at first when I came, I was like, I want to get married, but it wasn't something that I was feeling very pressured about, like for myself. Like I thought it'll happen. Like my mom feels pressured for me, but I don't feel like I have time pressure on it. But then by the 3rd year, I was like, okay, this is something I want, but it's not happening, and now I'm feeling a little bit tired of trying. So let's just focus on my career again and just leave. And so at that point, I was kind of not gonna really go for that let's find someone kind of attitude anymore. It was more like, oh, if it happens, that's great, but yeah, if it doesn't, you know, maybe another time. So yeah, I wasn't fully pursuing it at that point when I met them. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, why don't we just transition into how did you meet then?
Yeah, so I was church hopping, and I came across a mutual friend of ours. And he
From Handong. He's an MK
yeah.
from Handong. Yeah.
Okay.
And he invited me to his church. It was a Saturday, so he was like, "Hyung, come Saturdays, Sunday." And so I went. Because I had just found out that that I've never been to an English ministry, and I've always been to a Korean church.
Which is surprising.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really? You
Yeah.
just wow. That's
Never
interesting.
thought to go to.
Oh.
You like really wanted to find those roots.
Yeah. You just kept digging
All
for them,
in.
but couldn't. Yeah, I was all. Yeah. So, I went.
Oh,
and,
it was actually
yeah,
Christmas Sunday.
Yeah, the next day was Christmas.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, is that your story?
So
Wait.
did you meet each other on that day?
So that was our friend's church. So he wasn't attending that church,
Oh.
and neither was I. But I knew
Oh.
about that church because I had a lot of MK friends and Handong friends that were going there.
Oh.
So I would visit from time to time. And on Christmas Sunday, I'd been at my parents' place in Pohang, and I was coming back up, and I had only gone to a Korean service with my parents. But I knew by the time I got to Seoul, I could attend this service. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to do an English service too, so let's just go over. But by the time I got there, they were almost done. So when I went into the church, I saw my friend and I saw Uyn, and they were doing they used to do this thing where everybody stood in a circle and did the Lord's Prayer, I think. So I was at the end of the service when I walked in, basically. But I saw some tall, good-looking person standing next to my friend, and I was like, oh, who is this cute guy?
And you were dressed up all in black with a black leather jacket.
Something,
so
yeah.
Edgy.
Yeah.
So we noticed each other when we walked into the
really?
sanctuary from far away. But because of our mutual friend, because it's such a small church, we ended up all going out for dinner. And we sat at the same table because of our friend. So then we got to talk to each other during dinner. And I found out, oh, he went to art school here. He's an MK from the Philippines. He knows a lot of my other MK Handong friends. A lot of similarities and overlap. So it was very easily flowing conversation. Not awkward like the blind dates that I had been set up with.
Yeah.
Sure. It was just organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was it organic, or did your friend was this
Oh.
like a covert setup?
Oh, was this the same friend that told you to come to the
Yeah.
church?
Yeah.
No, but it wasn't a setup because I had not told anybody that I wanted to come that day. It was just purely by chance that I decided to go on the day that he had been invited.
I see.
Wow.
So I say to my friends, don't just stay at your church. Go visit your friend's church.
Oh.
Okay.
So I guess this week Hannah's gonna be.
Wait a minute. That's not a good plan. So that's crazy. So you met on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it was on that day. On that year, it happened to be Christmas on a Sunday. So it was Christmas Day, Sunday. Yeah.
Wow. So after that whole hanging out and eating together, did you both feel something? Like, was there something going on, like both of you, or?
So she says that she saw that I was interested in her
I could
just
see
by
it in
looking
his eyes.
in my
So
eyes.
transparent. I was like, oh, this guy is interested in me. Which made it very easy for me to be more open to him because I could see that he wanted to talk to me more. And then Sunday night we had talked about kind of like going to an art exhibition or something through our friend. Like we could all go together, you know, kind of make it like this, not a date, but just get to know each other more casually. But then we didn't exchange contacts because we were like, oh, I can get it through him. So we didn't exchange contacts. And then I found later that he had added me on Facebook. So he found me on Facebook and just added me, and then he started to message me directly.
Oh, look at you! Oh, go-getter! Wow! Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah. So then we were talking on Facebook for a while, and then I think in January, like mid-January, we went on our first date.
Wow! Now, do you remember where you went?
Yeah,
What did you guys do on your first date?
So I had bought Renoir exhibition tickets.
Okay.
And I wanted to go see with her, but then she went on a trip to Laos.
Oh yeah.
And
more NK friends.
Yeah, more NK friends.
Oh wow.
But we hadn't like texted or anything like so I was being like I was in a, I don't know, maybe I was getting like in a hurry, so I was like pushing for it, and I was like texting her like, hey, you know, if this is not a serious, if this is not going to be a serious relationship, then I think, you know, we should just end here.
Wait, for your first date?
Before our
Before
first
our
date.
first
Oh my god!
So he has,
What
like,
kind of
already
context are you
gone
thinking
through
of?
the whole, like,
Wow.
in his head. Everything had already unraveled in his head because I hadn't been responding or checking up on him because I was traveling with my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, so you felt like she was ghosting
Like,
you
yeah,
or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
wow.
But what did you 꽂혔어 on for Christine? Like what
Oh yeah,
drew
so
your attention?
like so my prayer requests like had things like, you know, like I want my future wife to have freckles, to be able to and to be like talk easy and like have, you know, have just really beautiful.
There you go. That's a
Did
good
she need to
answer.
be in art?
Yeah, so those are the kind of things that, you know, we could talk about. Similarities, you know.
And he was also desperate. So he really wanted to give it a go, I think.
Wow.
Because I feel like architecture and art are cousins, maybe?
Yeah.
Like you have to have a certain creative side of you
Mm-hmm.
for both of those. So maybe the things of interest that both of you have could be appreciated
Mm-hmm.
and similar.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I also like going to art exhibitions. And, architecture is also, you know, close to urbanism, and so I really like just walking around streets and noticing different buildings or just how the layout of the city is. And he'll walk with me, and he's like very amused as well, because I feel like some people it would not be interesting for them.
Yeah.
But we can just walk
Yeah,
around
that's
new
me.
neighborhoods where it's like,
I wouldn't be
yeah.
interested.
You're not
But-
interested in it?
Yeah.
Not in art.
And people, you like people.
I'm more of the relational person thing. But that's fascinating. Wow, that's really cool. But I'm really surprised that you were so direct and forward with Christine.
Yeah. So when I got that text, I was like, "What are you?"
I know!
I thought we were going on a date. What is this?
But that didn't
I'm already
deter you
getting
from
broken up with.
going out with him. Did you reassure
did that scare you?
So
or-
the thing is, when I first met him and I heard Hongdae Art School, I was like, oh, is he gonna be weird? So I kind of had this expectation and kind of fear almost of him being very quirky and weird. I had this like preconception about art kids, art school kids. But then when I saw that, I was like, kind of in my like, understanding that he just communicates very differently. Like it's but it didn't deter me in a way. I was just. Because in a way, it's him saying that I want to take this very seriously. I'm not just joking around, which is showing that he has, you know, a genuine intention. It's not just like I'm gonna, you know, play around and just, you know.
So on our first date, I had like made a sketch of her,
This
And
is
I
also
drew
very
it.
weird.
Found some photos on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Stalker level.
I gave it to her. When we were, after the exhibition, we were like sitting in a cafe, and I was just
Wow.
like,
Yeah.
Wait, but
I drew you.
is that normal for you, or were you a little
To do
more
something
giddy
like that.
because it was Christine?
It was a thing I did to people that I'm interested in.
Wow.
And I think that's for sure why you failed.
Yeah. and I freaked some people out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But Christine was able to see past
Yeah.
that and
Aww.
see the intention behind it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's so funny.
wow.
So I think at that first dinner setting when we were talking about like what our experiences were like in Korea, he also mentioned, I think you mentioned army and that was not easy, and just I got the sense that he had a really rough time after he came to Korea, and I think my heart kind of went out for him because even though I didn't have a rough time for the first time or the second time in Handong, I feel like I had it really good and I'm very grateful for that.
Sure.
But I knew that it could be really hard if you went to those kind of certain situations, and I really had a heart for any TCK who didn't have it as easy for me, so to speak, because I can still relate to that.
Yeah.
So I think already 좀 불쌍했어. And I've heard before that 불쌍하면 사랑하는 거야.
Yeah, the maternal.
Yeah.
It hits your maternal
Yeah.
instincts.
If you feel sorry for someone, that's a form of love or affection as well.
Okay.
So I think, when he was being weird and quirky with like the texts and like bringing me to me it felt like, oh, he's been so lonely. He hasn't been able to relate to anyone. Not as like lonely as like a man wants a woman lonely.
Sure.
But he hasn't had friendship or
Connections.
in Korea for a long
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so happy for you two, though. Oh my gosh. So after that first date, were there any? I don't know if I'm getting too personal with the question, but was there any hiccups, or was it pretty like you were building this relationship and things kind of just worked itself out? Or?
So I thought the first date of dating someone is that you kind of announce to be girlfriend and boyfriend. So
On the first date?
So I understood it as so we're gonna be going out.
But Koreans are direct like that, right?
So they'll want to talk about it, but it's not on the first date
Okay.
that you go on in Korea. But for him, so that first date that we went on, in his mind, that had been like the beginning of our dating relationship. For me, that was just a
Like,
first
let's
date.
get to know each other.
Yeah.
So we were on different starting grounds.
As you can see, I've never gone on dates much.
So this is what I also love about him, that he doesn't go by the normal rules.
Yeah. I mean, you're just unapologetically Un.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are who you are, and it's endearing.
Yeah. So first date, he thought we were already dating, and then 1 month in, he's like, "I have a friend in fashion school. She can make your wedding dress."
Oh,
I think it was like 1 or 2 months in, and I was like, "Hold up, what? We're not even anywhere near talking about wedding dresses yet."
Wow. So you knew, you knew from the beginning.
Yeah, from the get go. Yeah.
It took longer for me because I still had this art school artist. Like, if he's a painter, can he support a family? And I was still going through like the technical and the more realistic stuff.
Yeah.
But as a person and how we clicked, like there was almost nothing that made me worry or wonder. It was just that one thing that I couldn't get over. So it took me a few more months, like a lot of praying and just counseling with different people. And,
okay. So after that realization, okay, so I'm praying about it, some months are going by, she's basically your future to be wife. Did you do any like traditional westernized thing where did you get down on a knee with a ring, or what? I don't know how Koreans do it, and you have been in Korea long enough to where maybe you started adopting the Korean culture in that way. How did that end up transpiring?
So I'd have to, talking about propose to her, and she had given me hints on like how to propose. And she said do it in a location where it's meaningful to us, and we had spent a lot of time in Yangjaecheon, and that was a place where we almost broke up, and thought that was meaningful. So.
Yeah, but it was for me too because when we were at Yangjaecheon and we almost broke up, I was very ready to break up with him, and I phrased it as "let's take a break." And still, a part of me thought he was unstable. He's like an artist. He's gonna be very emotional if I say this, and I was kind of expecting some sort of big reaction, but very calmly he just like says, "Okay, if that's what you want, I'm okay with being friends too." And I had only said let's take a break. I didn't say let's be friends. That's him breaking up with me.
I can imagine Uyn's heart just dropping.
But then that made me think, he's actually not as emotionally unstable as I thought he is. I think it was a moment for me to realize that he's actually very grounded and he's a bigger person than I thought he was. So it was a meaningful moment for me when we were sitting there and talking that day. So I love that he chose that place to propose.
Well done, Uyn. Well done. Yeah, wow. Did you seek out Christine's parents for a blessing before you proposed?
I wanted to meet the parents before.
Oh, okay.
I think you came down to Puang before you proposed, right?
Yeah.
So we made it a point for him to come down to meet my parents, and we all had dinner together.
And her father, asked me like, what are your plans? And I had prepared a script, like I'm gonna go to grad school, I'm gonna study education, and I'm gonna, become an art teacher, and this is the plan. So I executed it pretty well.
Oh, okay.
And then he surprise visited my then church with his parents, so it wasn't like the pre-arranged thing, but I got to meet his family pretty early on while we were dating, so I had already met them, and then he came down to meet my parents, and so both parents knew that we were pretty serious and we were going to get married, and then he proposed. Because in Korean culture, I think it's important that you notify both parents that you have intentions, instead of you propose and you tell your parents. Like in the Western culture, you're like, "Hey mom, I'm engaged." Like that doesn't happen here.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So you surprised Christine by just having your parents just show up
at her.
Well, look at Christine being a trooper. Wow.
It's just full of surprises all the time.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then, so when he took you to the place, the special place, did you kind of already have a hint that this was going to happen?
Oh, yeah. So I was actually going to go to Europe soon after that day. So I had kind of been like giving like very overt hints, like I think it should happen before I go. I had a feeling that it was probably going to happen that day, but he was so nervous. So we had our rings custom designed by another friend of ours. She's also actually a TCK from Thailand, and like we had talked about it, and I knew the rings were coming. I don't remember if I knew that you picked them up, but so we had the rings, and he got on one knee and he had the ring box on his hand. And you're supposed to open the box and show them the ring. He just showed me the box. And then I was like, yes, and then I opened it. And
There's a surprise for you in the box.
Okay. That's so sweet. You were really nervous, even though you knew that she was probably going to say yes.
This is the day you should probably propose.
Like in my head, I only thought of getting on my knees. It didn't occur to me that I need to open the box. Yes, get on your knees.
That's so cute. That was a similar experience for me because I had the ring with me. I took her out to dinner. Unlike you guys, she didn't know I was going to do it, but I knew she was going to say yes. I was unnervingly nervous. I had no idea why I was so nervous, but I was like shaking. I was like, oh. Really? But yeah, I was so nervous and I couldn't hardly even get the words out. But I was nervous too. Yeah. Especially getting down on the knee, you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh.
But I think because both of us were older, in our 30s, maybe because we wanted it so much and we'd waited for so long. I think that also probably contributed to us appreciating the moment more than if we were 22 and just married our high school sweetheart.
It's so crazy to think that people get married at 22.
Yeah, my sister was one of my sisters was in high school or right out of high school, and she came home, told my parents, told my mom, yeah, I just got married. I mean, I just got engaged. Yeah, like, and there was no like the parents were like, what? You just got engaged? Okay. So that is a very westernized thing. And like the intentionality more on the Korean side. Okay, wow, that's amazing. So, literally, how long did it take for you dating until you got down on the knee? And was it like a year span or?
Yeah, we started dating in January.
So there's a Korean saying: if you want to know somebody, you need to go through all the seasons.
Oh, I didn't know this. Like the 4 seasons.
Yeah, 4 seasons. Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard this before.
So I was deeply in my Korean roots.
Wow.
So we did exactly one round of all 4 seasons, and then it was, I think, end of February or early March that he proposed.
Okay. Wow, that's so cool. And then you guys got married. You said 6 months after.
Yeah, so he proposed in March, and we got married October that year.
And you got married in Korea, I'm
In
assuming?
Korea, in his parents' home church. Home church. Yeah. So the church that his family has been at for generations. So.
Wow.
Oh, that's
so
meaningful.
Wow. During that time, did you guys feel any cultural gaps?
During the wedding prep?
Or like just
Dating?
throughout your relationship?
I think we've been joking about it before too, that he's afraid of white people. I think because he grew up in what seems like American culture in the MK school, but also very different, like a very particular international culture. I do feel that that's a bit of a difference from me sometimes. Like, I'm very comfortable in the international setting, but I feel like he's kind of always putting people in like different categories. For me, like, I see everyone kind of as level, but I think he still kind of wants to know where he stands. Maybe it's a guy thing too. Yeah, I don't know.
Ask him the question.
Oh, what?
The side. Okay, so Adam recently told me that when he meets another guy, he sizes them up and he's like, "Can I beat them or will I get like beaten?" And I'm like, "Adam, that's so interesting." And he's like, "No, most guys think this way. So we need to test this theory."
Do you think this way?
Do you think this way too?
Yeah, so immediately, without even thinking, when people come into my life, whether they're new members at church or if I see them out on the street, I'll immediately make a quick assessment without even realizing it, whether I could take them or not. It's just a guy thing. I don't know what it is.
Is it an Adam thing or is it a guy thing?
Does that happen to you? Or
I mean, I do look at when I look at a person, I will like try to assess if I can get along with that person.
oh,
That's so peaceful.
you're such a sweet-hearted person. I look like the bad evil wolf or something. Oh,
You're making Adam look bad.
yeah, you're making me look bad. No, I love it though. So that's very sweet. Yeah, I also make that assessment too, whether I could, if I could make inroads with them. Like it's like a challenge. Like, okay, this person might be a little bit standoffish, but could I break through that barrier? That's true. But that's the second thought, not the first one.
What about this? If it's not like if the other person is cooler than me, like well dressed or do I? Can I like? I feel like intimidated.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not by size, but
I'm
by
not
coolness.
by coolness.
Okay.
A little bit like. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well,
There is some sizing.
little.
It's just different genres of sizing up the other person.
I think so.
Well, now that we had a little sidebar, Hannah kind of asked it, but were there any like hurdles between? It sounds like both parents, I guess, were. Was there any hurdle that you had to deal with your parents, or were both of them pretty understanding?
There's a longer version, but in the end, they were both very happy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's
So
good.
my sister, she got married to a Korean guy from Handong, and then for me, I met Eun, who's a TCK, and in our house we speak English to each other, but my sister, she speaks more Korean with her husband. Well, this is just a random thing that I kind of thought I would talk about. But like I told you, like both of our emotional language, we would prefer English, but because she married a Korean person, you know, now she's more comfortable with Korean as well. But she's the one that had a much harder time growing up. Like I told you, like we moved back kind of because of her. So I thought maybe recently that maybe she let it all out when she was growing up and she felt comfortable enough to marry a Korean guy. Because for me, that was kind of important that I married a TCK, or at least someone who was very fluent and in English and in other cultures. And I almost never considered marrying someone who had only grown up here. So it was interesting for me that my sister was okay with that, and I was thinking about that a few days ago, and I was like, maybe it's because she let all of those like difficulties out when she was growing up. She would like act out and rebel, and for me, like I felt like everything was okay growing up, but maybe deep down, like I felt like everything was suppressed. So once I get married and I have my own home, I don't want to have to do that anymore. So maybe that's why I put more importance on marrying someone who was more comfortable in English and could match my emotional language and culture.
Now, how long have you been married then? When did you get married?
2018. So it's our
7th year.
Is it our 7th anniversary now? Yeah. So it's only 신혼부부 for 7 years in Korea. For like the government stipends or whatever. So you're not newlywed after the 7th year. So we get our benefits up till this year.
So we're trying to milk it.
Oh.
Gotta get a new loan this year. Yeah.
Low interest.
Oh, okay. And you had your daughter Irene. She's how old is she? 4?
She's turning 4 in October. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's nice. You had like a 3-year getting to know each other, kind of building that relationship prior to having a child. Was that intentional between the two of you, or?
We wanted at least 1 year. And then I think by the 2nd year, we were still kind of figuring out our jobs and what we wanted to do in terms of staying in Seoul or not. And then in our 3rd year, we tried to get pregnant. I actually had a pregnancy loss before and after marrying. And so, I think, we would have preferred to have a kid earlier, but that's just how it worked out. So.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Oh, okay. Wow. So how is it raising I mean, both of you, okay, Christine was raised, you weren't raised in Korea until you were 9, and you weren't raised in Korea because you were raised in the Philippines. Now that you're raising Irene, how was that experience for her from your perspective and for you guys raising a child? Are you going to enroll her in a Korean, sorry, I'll ask the first question.
Yeah.
How's that so far, raising a child in Korea? Is she a Korean citizen?
She's only a Korean citizen at the moment. I haven't applied for her American citizenship yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like we're reaping like the benefits of this government stipend.
Her being a citizen helps.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's possible because I'm Korean citizen.
Yeah, because Christine,
Is
you're still a
I
U.S.
only
citizen.
have American, I don't have Korean. But so we talk about Korean school, like are we going to enroll her in a Korean school? And we both share the sentiment of we didn't really have good experiences with the Korean public system, and more towards like high school and stuff when it becomes very serious with the college entrance exam. we both didn't experience sunung, so we don't feel like we're equipped to help her through that. So we would prefer to not have to have her go through all of that. So that's just as far as we've talked about. So, you know, we're thinking about different options in terms of international school or moving back abroad or something. But
No, don't
I
move.
mean, we'll see. I mean, I've had plans to move out of Korea for the longest time, but it's never happened. Yeah, but right now, for like as In said, we get a lot of government support, and daycare is free, and we have a really great neighborhood community right now. So yeah, it's been really good so far. Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
And do you feel like she is a TCK, or does she feel more monocultural? Like, I know you guys are intentionally speaking different languages. Sorry, Christine, you're speaking Korean, and you're speaking in English, which is usually what you want to do with multilingual households. But other than that, are you like consciously raising her in a certain way?
So when we had Irene, we were living in Mangwon, and my friends who are both married to Americans, a Korean American and a Mexican American, they ended up moving to this one place and sending their kids who are the same age as Irene to this one preschool. And they told me that they were both living there and sending their kids there. And I thought, oh, it would be great if we could also just send Irene there, and we would have our own TCK, like Kyopo community there. Because I didn't have any family in Seoul to help out, but just having some friends nearby. So we moved there. So we've been living there, and they're really nearby, like all 5-10 minutes walking distance. And first, just by chance, there's even more families, like multicultural families, international families that have moved into that neighborhood. And there's about maybe 50% in Irene's class right now. If it's like 20 kids, I think 10 of them are from international marriages. So it wasn't intended to be to that scale, because we only knew about the two families when we first moved there. But yeah, it's become very like multicultural in that area. So when we see the other families, we'll just like start talking to them in English. And Irene also knows that some people speak English and some people don't, so she's aware of that.
That's so cool.
Right? Yeah. So I thought maybe the rest of Seoul is becoming like this, but then I've spoken with other parents that have moved to Korea or whatever from abroad, and they said there's no other families that speak English in their preschool yet.
Is this a part of Seoul that, I mean, this is a neighborhood that you guys live in that happens to have that, and it's in the city of Seoul? Oh, that's cool that you guys happen to find that then.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, that's, I mean, for Christine, whatever happens, whether you move out of the country or stay in Korea, I think is going to have an advantage having you two as her parents, because both of you experience something so different, and I think that'll just lend to her being a lot more stable. I feel like that's great for her, and she's such a sweetie. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Yeah, good parenting.
We still have to find out about that if
in the long term,
right?
Like the quintessential, like the guy is very involved with work, and the mom is like a stay-at-home mom. Like I feel like that actually still is predominantly the case in Korea. Like if you felt that pressure because that's what you're seeing and maybe your parents are expecting, but you have a Western perspective and you're not always conforming to that.
And we're definitely not that traditional in our marriage roles, because I went back to work after I had Irene, and I'm very much a full-time working mom, and Ben has had to really step up. But he's always, even before Irene, he was the chef of the house, because he really loves cooking and he's better at it than me.
Lately I've been thinking, because I see so many moms, like after like I pick up Irene, we go to the playground, and it's just moms. And so like I'm like, is this right for me? Like, am I, I come home and I like do all the household stuff, and it seems like she's the breadwinner, and I'm like.
But he's also
No.
working full time. So the thing is,
Yeah.
he goes to work very early, and he's out of school by 4, so he can get home by 5 and pick up Irene. So I do the drop off in the morning. So I go into work later, so I have to get off work later. So he's there when all the moms are picking her up. So I understand that he can feel that way, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think I talked to some of the dads, and you know they're working like 2 jobs, like and so like and the mom works and the dad also works. So then I mean, if you want to live in Seoul, then like it's not just one parent has to work. You kind of both have to work. Yeah. So that's becoming a norm. So yeah. And
So like there was someone that I used to work with. She worked part-time, but only her hours were part-time, and she had kind of the same amount of work as all of us. So she would go home and finish it at night after she put her kid down.
Oh my gosh.
And on top of that, her husband was almost always working late, so she would do all of the housework.
Yeah.
And so all of the housework, and on top of that, doing more office work after the kids go down. So I was like, I don't understand how she can do that. And I don't have the energy for that. So I'm very grateful that Ben can come home early, thanks to his job. That he doesn't have to work overtime because he's a teacher, and he can do a lot of the housework. But yeah, actually we had this conversation because we were preparing for this, and we were talking about this question, how he felt about like being the only dad at the playground sometimes.
Yeah. And there's like Korean moms are a little cliquey. Like they have their mom cafes, they have their little like apartment gatherings, and so I could see it being very lonely.
Yeah.
And they're probably not gonna be like, hey, come over here, like join us. They're probably like, oh, who's that? And like, you know.
Well, actually, our neighborhood moms are pretty inviting. He's actually even gone to eat like tongdak with the moms without me. So they're very inviting, and that's very true about the moms being cliquey though, which is another reason why I wanted to move to be near my friends that I already knew and had relationships with, because I felt like the mom relationship would be a little bit scary. But so far it's been good. Yeah.
Well, that's great that you've been able to navigate, because I'm sure that's a fear for those who are more westernized, living in Korea, having a child, raising them in Seoul, and having some of those obstacles. But you're able to navigate that through pretty well. So that's great to hear. Wow.
Yeah, I think when you're raising a kid, especially a toddler like Irene, it's so important to have good playground community. And I didn't realize that this would be such a big thing. But yeah, we're really grateful for the friends and the families that we get to hang out with at the playground.
Yeah, I feel like for Irene too, just having lived in the States for so long, that's like a playground community area that doesn't exist in suburbia in America.
Right. You have to take a car. And,
even then, like there aren't that many
dangerous.
playgrounds publicly that you can just take your child and do that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think this will be, for Irene, these will be very fond memories for her growing up.
What is
having
that
type of community?
face?
well, when you're in Colfax, you said you went to like
We would
her
go to,
dad
big parks.
like had a video camera, and he would like record like a bunch of stuff with her and her sister playing, and like I'd seen them
we
like
were
playing
kind
in the
of like
playground.
closer to the city though, not really suburbia,
okay.
like Adam was trying to explain. And so in suburbs in the States, you just play in your backyard.
Yeah.
If there's a friend that lives nearby on that street, you hang out with them, but you don't really happen to run into each other at a public playground that much.
Because in the public playgrounds, it's like deserted, and it's like chained up, chain fences, and like basketball.
Depending on where you live, graffiti
and like
This is all
stuff
based
going
on
down.
like movies and TV because he's never been to the States.
I grew up in a small town in the Midwest, so when I moved out to the West Coast and saw the schooling system in LA, saw the schooling system in the parks and stuff, it was really shocking to see that they locked the school field and the track and field area. They locked everything up, that you didn't have access to it. and it was a lot different. But that's what most of like people who
Big
live
cities, right?
grow up in the big cities. That's you didn't hang out in a local area. The parents would have to be intentional about taking you to someone's house to play, or at church if the church happened to have some type of like little play area. It wasn't like a communal thing like Irene's getting to be raised up on. So that's cool though. That's awesome.
Yeah. So now that you've been living and working in Korea for a while, how have you found community? I know you've shared like your Mangwon crew is like a really great community. Have you found community in other spaces? Or has that still been an ongoing difficult journey for you?
No, not Mount Unpyeong. That's our former Unpyeong.
Unpyeong.
Our Unpyeong fan.
Your Unpyeong crew.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, what?
But yeah, I think we're definitely thankful for our neighborhood community, and I think church is also a really big part of staying connected in terms of community. But in terms of plugging into Korean society and really being assimilated to our roots, I feel like I still avoid that. Like I still have this like, oh, that's not like what I grew up with. I don't think that's what I want when it comes to certain things. So I'll stick to what I'm more comfortable with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something I do too.
Yeah.
Very similar in that way. To exist in Korea, I create my own little Korean American culture. But okay. All right. How about you?
I think I always go back to my my college years, because it was I think it was a very significant part of my life, because when I first came, I was able to find is this okay?
We don't know what you're gonna say. We'll have to find out.
We're all like, yes.
Okay. Because it's not like now, it's like before.
Oh, you mean according to the question? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So like, I had joined a rock band.
Oh.
Then we with some friends had a band, and then we played in the Hongdae clubs and at some provincial festivals. Like, you know how they celebrate like Sansuyu or
Have
like
you been to
Hanu.
these like local festivals?
Yeah.
축제?
Yeah.
Oh, I've only heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like that the band kind of gave me a place to fit in. And like I think sharing like music and art was like a way of like people didn't judge me. So like whether like what race I was or like what language I spoke, we all had a good time. So it was just it was a place for me to connect with with the group, and we still keep in touch. That all like dispersed when we had to go to Kundae, the army. But yeah, that was a pretty like significant part of my life. And also like we talked before, MK, like the group MK Korea and Nest, they were like big supporters for helping me adjust to Korea, and now we're like the community and that helps me navigate through life is like family. I think it all comes down to Irene, Christine, and then that's starting that community. Yes, that is all.
And I think because we were talking about Handong for a lot during the episodes, but because my Handong community is so tight and it's very multicultural, I still really have a close community with all my college friends. And so like some of the people that I studied architecture with went to faith with him, and so they're married and they have kids, and we live pretty nearby, so we still hang out together. And even though they didn't really know each other growing up or during college, we can all connect through that kind of multicultural, like TCK, like all the families are a little bit similar in that way. So even though he's not Handong, our Handong alum community is also pretty strong. So he's always like, I didn't go to Handong, but it feels like I went to Handong.
Honorary Handong member.
I mean, that's cool that a lot of them stayed in Korea too,
Yeah.
because it seems like some of the people that would graduate through that system could be living overseas.
Yeah, I mean, a
easily.
lot of them did go abroad too, but yeah, there are some families that are in Korea.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great. That's awesome. And but we are very blessed that you found a community with ARC Church. This is how we met them, through ARC Church. So it's awesome to have you guys. You guys have been a huge encouragement and contribution to ARC. So we've enjoyed getting to know you too, for sure. What's something that helped or helps you feel grounded? We probably talked a few of these things, but what are some of those things now that you are a TCK living in Korea?
Still the Unpyeong fam, because
the family there,
even though sometimes he feels like,
That's right.
oh, I'm the only dad at the playground. If he ever runs into one of our two families that we know, he'll come home and he'd be like, hey, I met this person at the playground and we hung out today, and he thinks he feels really grounded and connected in the community when they get to hang out.
So recently I started running with one of the dads, and we would like
You guys went once. It has to be more than once.
yeah, so we went twice.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we went
okay.
twice.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's gonna
so-
be a thing now. Okay.
whenever we have time.
So it's a really positive relationship that we're getting to build there.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Seems like that was a great move for you guys
Yeah,
to
we
move to
really
that
are so
area.
thankful that
Mm.
And then for sure church. Like he was talking about his Hongdae band, but he really enjoys and feels like himself when he's playing. And I think also getting to join the praise team at ARC,
Yeah.
it's really giving him like meaningful connection and helping him feel more connected to the community. So
Yeah. It's been great having you on the worship team. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. We've been wanting an electric guitar on the team for a while, so you're an answered prayer.
and he's been wanting to buy electric guitar equipment for a while, so
Oh.
Here's the excuse now.
Are you guys usually people, like social people? Like, do you get that sense of community and like groundedness from people? Or are there other things you do to like recharge and do like, I don't know, like even though we are locals here, there are moments where you're like, I'm not part of this society, right? And so when those days happen, like how do you kind of regain your balance? Is it usually through people, or are there other things that you do?
Yeah, mostly we go meet next week we're gonna go with family trip to Seocho. And those kind of trips kind of build up our relationship, but also like give us time to like rest and feel grounded.
I think it's really important to have people that have known you for a long time. And I think that's a big part of helping you feel grounded or connected. Because even if I'm not actually an extrovert, I'm an introvert, but even if you are an extrovert, actually I can't speak on their behalf. So, never mind.
Who's an extrovert?
Oh,
I'm not sure, yeah.
So you can get energy just by being around people, even though you've only had a short relationship with them.
No,
Okay.
I only
Okay,
like
okay.
people I know. So I don't like crowds.
Okay.
My energy gets sapped, but if I'm with people I feel really comfortable with, I can see like Adam and Hyojin. Sometimes I see them like 4 times a week.
Oh wow.
And we're like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm like back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I because I'm an only child, I find that I ground myself more through like reflecting on my own.
Oh.
And I really dislike rereading my journals because it feels so cringe. But I do have like a newsletter that I've been writing for this past year during this transition to Korea. And whenever I feel really like unstable and I'm like, did I make the wrong decision? Did I just basically screw up my life by choosing to come here? I reread and I'm like, oh, I went over this hump, this very similar hump just a few months ago, I can get over this hump again. And I think that's actually what helps me feel grounded, not the people, because for me right now, ARC is a little transient. Like we're already on our third rotation of people. Some people are leaving, I'm leaving, and so I think for me, people actually, as much as I love them, are often not mechanisms for feeling grounded. They actually feel more chaotic to me. So that's why I was like curious how it is for you.
Yeah, I mean, because ARC is still so new, I wouldn't really count those relationships as long defining relationships. And for me, it has to be at least like handong. I have to go that far back for it to feel like. Actually, also, I have a friend that I know from. Is that yours? I have a really good friend from when I was in Norway. So that's still like about a 10-12 year friendship. Yeah. So 그 정도는 돼야지. I'm like, okay, if I spend time with this person, I feel like I'm grounded. Yeah.
Okay. But both of your parents are also living in Korea, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So there is a sense of, I'm sure they appreciate having you guys here, especially with the grandchild. Well, I know your parents are nearby. Christine, are your parents still down in
They're in Guang still, yeah. So it's still like a 3-hour train ride if I want to go see them.
Yeah.
Which is not so bad compared to like the States if you want to go travel to different cities.
That's true.
But I can't go that often, so we only see them about a handful of times during the year. But it's still, you know that you can just hop on a train and go see them, so the distance doesn't feel so bad.
And both parents are like coming to the realization that you guys could end up leaving Korea for a bit. I mean, that's something that obviously is seemed like it could be down the road.
Yeah, that was kind of her parents kind of pushed us in the beginning. Again,
I think they were kind of shocked to hear that Uyn had never experienced Western culture or America because he seemed so American when you met him. So I think my dad really thought, oh, you would do so well. Like you guys should give it a try. So they still think it's a really good idea for us to give it at least a try. So yeah, maybe at some point, even if it's not for very long or for permanent.
Yeah, I mean, I think that with in America, they have progressed faster than Korea culture in terms of society and in terms of, I feel like, relationship building and opening their hearts to each other a bit more, maybe. But having experienced the States my whole life and then living in Korea, I definitely see America is better than that in some areas. But I don't know, for me, I found my home in Korea. Yeah, for sure. But I think it's because I grew up in the States. The allure of going to the States is I'm done. I don't want to do that anymore. But I could see I can see you probably enjoying it. I mean, you get the taste of it and next month, so that'll be fun for you. Yeah. Well, this was really fun and getting to know you both better over this last 2 hours of talking with you two, and I got to learn some new stuff about you, so that was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And if you all have any questions for Uyn or Christine, or if it's something that resonated with you, comment down below. We'd love any comments, even if it's emojis or whatever, that would be amazing. And we look forward to what God has in store for you two, and maybe we'll have to do a follow-up episode at some point again down the road, get some updates on life and everything.
After Texas.
With your cowboy boots.
But in the meantime, you all, thank you so much. Tune in, as always, to the next episode. And God bless you all. Stay safe. Peace.
Bye.